Hey team, welcome to our Sprint 1 planning meeting. Our goal for the sprint is to lay the groundwork for the application and ensuring that students can check in their locations and view their current status. So for this sprint, our priority user stories will include student check-in with location and view current check-in status, and also basic authentication and user group and core infrastructure setup. As you can see on the screen that we have set up everything on Jira, and we have also divided into 3 teams, and each team will now walk us through their tasks and plans for the sprint. Let's start with the UI team.
Um, Hi, I and Ashok will be working on UI and front end. We will be focusing on setting up the front end for the application. Our main tasks include setting up the web application using React. We will be implementing the login and sign up functionality using Auth0 with AWS Cognito. We will also be designing the UI for student check-in and viewing check-in status. We will ensure API calls are properly integrated with the backend as well. By the mid-sprint review, we plan to have the authentication flow completed and the basic UI for check-in ready for testing. Next, let's move on to the database team.
Me and Shashir will work on the database. Our focus is on designing and implementing the database for check-ins. Our tasks include designing the DynamoDB schema for users, check-ins and statuses, implementing tables for securely storing check-in records, setting up IAM permissions to allow Lambda functions to interact with DynamoDB. We will first finalize the schema design and then move on to database setup. By the end of the sprint, we will ensure that the backend can read and write check-in data properly. Next, let's hear from the backend and DevOps team.
So Vaishnavi and I'll work on DevOps and backend. On the backend front, we will set up API gateways and Lambda functions for handling the check-in logic. And we plan to implement some Auth0 rules and actions for authentication. Additionally, we'll set up source code repositories where everyone will commit their code and start developing CI/CD pipelines as well. And we'll start with YAML file development for infrastructure automation with CloudFormation. We'll first verify how many resources are working in AWS for us and then develop the ISC for them. Yeah, with that said, I'll hand it over back to Vaishnavi.
So now that each team has their own tasks, let's track everything on Jira and update it regularly. And if anyone faces blockers, let the team know immediately so we can resolve everything quickly. And let's get started. And I look forward to seeing our progress in the sprint review. Thank you.